Hey, look at that. All right, let us,
Sorry.
I'm going to call us to order at 4:04. Thank you all for coming. I hope you all had a pleasant August. Didn't miss us too much. Okay,
I
roll.
did. Didn't miss everybody.
I never saw each other. Okay, roll call. Catherine Brady, I am here. Marilyn Comrie. Here. Hallie Keeler.
Here.
Jenna Lowenstein.
Here.
Sashi Nadanacheva.
Here.
Barb Nagy.
Here.
Marie Shaw, let Jen and I know that she has a conflict today, so she won't be here. Carl Strand
Here.
and Sue Troy.
Here.
Well, seeing no members of the public, onto communications. Paige just brought us a thank you note from Ada, which I'll read to you. Dear GPL Library Board, I'm writing to you today in hopes that all of you had a lovely summer, and also to thank you for all of your generosity over these last few years. Being a part of the board is truly one of the reasons that pushed me to grow so much and learn so much in terms of myself. Now I could never really imagine not trying to get more involved with whatever community I am a part of someday, though I hope it is Groton.
Oh, honey.
I cannot wait to still get updates on the day-to-day stuff from Paige and to hopefully stop by sometimes. And once again, thank you all so much for the profound difference you have made in my life, Ada.
Oh, that's lovely.
For us. That was a lovely note.
Well, we're thinking of her and hope she's enjoying school.
And we're very glad she encouraged you to the extent you did.
Yes.
May I have a motion to approve the minutes from July 16th?
So moved.
Did everyone have a chance to look at these already? Any discussion or correction? Hearing none. All in favor of approving the minutes as they stand, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? That passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Time for statistics.
So we have 2 months worth. I'm too excited. Been an interesting summer. What I can tell you is, just want you to be aware, because we said this at the July meeting, that the numbers we see for library visits, it looks a little wonky, like very high compared to this year, and same for August. We had an issue with our patron counter, the thing that counts when you walk into the building. It was not working. So we had to do a rough estimate. Higher than it probably should have been, but
Is
that's
that the
what
new patron count?
we received a new patron counter, but this is when we were down.
Last year.
Doesn't, so that's why the 24 numbers seem a bit higher last
Oh,
year.
Okay.
Both
Those
the
are-
20
Bless you.
Bless you.
Those were estimated, I see.
Yes. So that's why it's like, wow, in August, you had almost 17,000 people. That's the reasoning for that. Anyhow, so in July, we did have a couple little dips here and there, especially with the ebooks, which, interesting. However, you know, in years past, children and YA didn't really check out a lot of ebooks, and we're noticing that there has been some movement in that. So there's some balance, I guess you could say, with that. I did also want to recognize that GMTV YouTube channel views, we've had quite the spike this summer in GMTV subscribers and views. There's been some situations happening at the town annex with our council meetings, so it makes for good viewership. People want to be informed and see what's going on, but that is the reason for the spike, because there's more activity up at the annex. So you're seeing that reflected there.
Can I ask you a question? on
Yes,
the
please.
ebook numbers?
Mhm.
I wonder, are you guys able to see, like the wait lists, the average wait lists on popular titles? for
Yes.
ebooks? Is that something where there's any correlation between more people are waiting for popular titles, so there's fewer ebook checkouts or any patterns there that you can.
It's a very good question. What we try to do, I know, is if there are wait lists, we try to immediately, especially if it's Groton, immediately buy it for our collection. They get, first priority, because we've got a number of holds. Of course, that doesn't mean that just because one person puts it on hold, that we're automatically buying it. We kind of look at kind of an average, like, oh, there's 10 people waiting for this, so we're buying it immediately. Sometimes even, if we notice like Mystic or Bill has more holds on a particular title, while we do want to buy it for our group, we try to be equitable in purchasing. We'll call over to Mystic and say, hey, it looks like there's about 10 people, Mystic cards, that are waiting for this title. So you can buy it. So there may be something
Sure.
for that. It would also be interesting to delve a little further, like I said, with the YA children, because we didn't really see a lot of that before. It's a lot of very low numbers as comparison.
Well, it is interesting too that the audio is up a little bit. So maybe with travel and summer and stuff, so that can be of interest too.
Yes, with audio. Yep. Mhm. Yeah, because our formats are changing and those things are, and plus we're trying to educate people that it doesn't have to be, you know, it's truly the book that's being read. You don't have to, kids don't have to play games. You know, it's just downloaded on there.
And obviously that makes a difference.
Yep. Mhm. What else of note? GMTV. There was something, I believe, in the August that I wanted to chat about. Little dip in our prints, computer prints, and Emily and I were just talking about this earlier today, that it seems like our wireless printing has had some challenges with the server, and it seems to be going down a lot more than usual, and we've had a lot of offline time. So we've had to print it from our information desk, and so the numbers reflect that. So we're gonna work on trying to figure out what is going on, why it keeps going down so much. Because people are still using it. Yeah. And then, in August, the materials added to the collection, the adult print looks like quite a drop. I believe, I have spoken about how our vendor, our large vendor called Groton Taylor, is experiencing some massive issues. And one of the issues we just were told the other day is they got bought out by another company. But I went to a webinar and the vendor apologized profusely and told us what the future was going to look like for, you know, how we receive our books, but it wasn't promising. So we are going to be looking at another vendor or multiple vendors, because we are not seeing a turnaround time for books. When we're ordering them, not coming in. And they're back ordered for like 6 months, and that's unacceptable. You know, it's unacceptable. And it's time to look elsewhere and make sure those things get fulfilled for our patrons. So that's why you're gonna probably see some dips in the next until we convert over to something else. We are using other vendors too. I don't want to say like we put all of our eggs in the basket. I mean, we do use another company, and we also use Amazon. But for the bulk of our purchases is we use this Baker and Taylor. And so, like I said, we're gonna be changing that up a bit. So if you see lower numbers, it's going to eventually change.
Is that something you stay in contact with the other Connecticut libraries about? What vendor? failures?
Yes, in fact, Connecticut Library Consortium, which we're a member, provides discounts to a number of different vendors. And they're the ones who actually hosted the webinar and weren't even told either that they were bought out. We went to the webinar and the next day the announcement was made. So they weren't even really aware, but they are going to keep, Baker and Taylor is going to keep and honor their discounts for libraries through the Connecticut Library Consortium for the time being. I don't know if the new company who bought them out is gonna keep that. So that's why we're.
I was curious whether the state of Connecticut in general recommends particular vendors, or they just tell you what's out there and you decide.
Yeah, they do, and they negotiate pricing.
Not the state of Connecticut.
No, state,
The-
yeah,
the library,
yeah,
yeah, the
yeah,
library.
yep. Yeah, the consortium is legally the only one that can do.
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
The state library cannot negotiate rates. So yes, they do have a number of vendors we can look at on different pricing available. Questions, concerns?
No, I noticed, I like the numbers. I
Yeah,
noticed that-
yeah.
That, the increase, and I know it's not new this month, but the increase in wireless is great.
Yes,
And it looks like it has been running a lot higher than last year, but last summer, I think there was quite a dip. So it's maintained your spring numbers through the summer, which is great. So people are coming to use, can you track how many people are using it in the parking lot and how many people are using it from inside?
we haven't yet.
Okay.
Because they're all the same unit hubs, I guess you can
Mhm.
call them. We may be able to do that though,
Okay. I just-
because with the grant that IT has written and
Mhm.
received, they're gonna put out more hubs outside of the building.
Mm.
So maybe a different way to track that.
Can do it from Dairy Queen.
Ah, really? Can you?
What?
Oh, I was like, you tried? Oh, that's amazing.
I thought you had been stepping out like
Sorry.
and walking down the sidewalk.
Right? I'm like, wow.
Actually, no.
But, yeah, the wireless numbers are
That
good.
is
We
great.
see, we've
Great.
just, Emily and I just did a quick like IT perusal of like what's happening in the library with tech and, what do we need to fix or update and, yeah, people are using laptops coming in or iPads, whatever they're using that are mobile but they would like the Wi-Fi.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm fighting.
It's great.
On to you, Rick.
So staffing, I'm happy to say, we're going into second interviews for GMTV's regular part-time position. We have a last person who was in that position is now temporary until we find the new staff person. So we're having those interviews next week. Maybe we will get somebody in the second round. And the other interesting is we've put out for a project archivist to help in the local history room. And I'm going down to look at applications. It appears we have around 33 or 36 applicants, which is fabulous news because, lots of experience. And so it'll be a good position to fill. Looking forward to that. The endless roof project. Today was supposed to be the last day and it is the 17th and there's still stuff outside. It did appear day before yesterday that they came and did some finishing work. But obviously you can see that there's still some remnants around. I'm also told next week is when the inspector is coming to double check. I'm just thrilled because the stuff will be moving and there won't be any more leaks in this side of the building. So that's good news, but we're wrapping that up. Cersei contract negotiations. So for those who don't know, Cersei is our library software that we use for checking in, checking out, patron registrations. So we've been in a contract with Waterford, Mystic, and Bill for the last 5 years. It is up as of November. And so we have been working with Cersei to get new numbers in place and see what kind of contract terms they have. We've also done our due diligence. We've looked at the next, another vendor or another consortia that's very close by that both New London and Ledger run on. We always check to see what pricing looks like. And so we're working on that right now. and gathering some data for
Is
them.
that Lion Library?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. So
that's
we'll
not a
do
bad
that.
book.
Yeah, it is. It's
User end, it's kind of some nice features in there.
definitely, I know, and Emily, when she was at Old Saybrook, that was one of the ones that she ran, so. Yeah, so we're looking at that, and like I said, looking at, continuing at Cersei. But we're in negotiations right now. Circle of Friends update, Lee's not here, but, I just wanted to say this Saturday is, Circle of Friends, meeting where, choosing positions, if anybody was interested in roles or knows somebody that would be interested in being on the board of the Circle of Friends. I guess you call it like the annual meeting.
Yes.
The big one. Food is going to be provided, and we'll obviously do Friends business at that time. So if you're interested, it's at 9:30. 9:30. Thank you. And it seemed like the book sale went very well this past Thursday.
I don't know. I was on
Last-
11 We took in very little money.
It was a little
We-
flat, I
I
think.
taken about $200, but we only had about $40,
Yeah.
but they did $323 first hour.
Oh,
I don't know
good.
what happened. They don't- We had done.
I will tell you that we've told people now it's the second Thursday of every month, and anybody that we told it to is like, great, could put it on my calendar. So I think having a specific date is the way to go.
Yeah.
So.
And it was a
great.
beautiful day, you know, so it was, I was after you, it was like $56, so it wasn't too bad.
It didn't look like it was as much as we normally
Yeah.
have either, so I don't know.
Well, the bin is full. So
Okay.
for the next one,
Great.
don't you worry. Let's see. Oh, I just wanted to, or I'm taking, there's a free 5-week course for AI, beginning AI, through Charter Oak State College, and it's really available to anyone. It got sent out through HR, but also through library channels, and if you're interested to sign up for an AI course, since it's free, let me know. I can, if you don't want to look for yourself, I can send a link. Registrations have been filling quickly, so they're having different sessions, but I'm already in week 2, and it's really interesting. There's 100 people signed up for
Wow.
this course. so-
Yeah, I didn't get into yours. I'm in October.
Yeah. But it's very interesting and very timely. So. Past programs, just want to remark on summer reading and the finale we had, for the finale, who was our acrobat.
Yeah.
And about 70 people that showed. She did a fantastic job. We were worried about, how are you gonna do this acrobat thing? The other kid's gonna participate because that's a little, but no, she did. She's a pro. Summer reading, I did not bring the numbers. for
I
them.
didn't bring the stats,
But,
the
we
report, the end of.
we can send those out to you. People were coming in, using the facility, really enjoying. I think one of the most popular was we had this guessing jar in the children's room.
Oh,
They would race in here, there'd be a line frantically putting down because
Every week.
if you guess the right number, you got the whole package.
thank you.
And it
We
was,
were so excited, week to week. Is a new one out? Is it ready to go?
yeah, something very simple, but people really were interested, so. It's the little things, right? Little things. Scholastic Book Fair did, I think, pretty phenomenally. 3,000 credits, or might even be more than that. I just know that we've got a little pot to then purchase things for next year's summer reading, books. We've already started, looking at that, and a couple little odds and ends for prizes. So it's always, it was just like every summer, it's a highlight for some people. Todd Gipstein, author, photographer, National Geographic. He had around 63, 64 people. Very engaging. We filmed it, so you're able to watch it on GMTV if you missed it.
Does a great program.
Yes. And then White House Butler, very excited to have him. He was really really funny and extremely nice person. I met him, I got to talk to him for about a half hour before the program. He came very early to make sure all the setup was perfect. But he had some really interesting artifacts from the White House and that was, I'm sorry?
Yeah, that he took.
Yeah, that he took and grabbed them.
The soul checkers.
But it was also filmed, so if you missed that, good. Yeah. Some upcoming programs and services, just wanted to, the League of Women Voters is doing they started off with a two-part series and now it's changing to a three-part series. Civics 101 is what happened last night, and then there's two others, one on how Groton government works. And I'm blanking on the other one.
That's
but,
right, it's just the 21.
Mm-mm.
There was one last night.
Yep.
But there's one
Thank you.
coming
There's one
October
coming as well.
21st. So check out our program page, programming, a newsletter, because there's some other ones coming out for October.
I just signed up
Yeah.
for both of them. One of them was on the Constitution.
Mhm.
How about the other one? Something about voting. That was in October.
Yeah, that one's, it's October 21st. That's
Oh,
what
that's
I
the
think,
League of-
how to.
League of Women Voters doing it, yeah.
Timely and important. Then I'm sorry, I didn't return that. It says the thin blue eye FBI agent, and then it goes down to Greg Dillon. That is one program.
Mhm.
That's an author visit. As I mentioned, Circle of Friends annual meeting, and then Spooktober. So
Mhm.
we have, I feel like, a program every single day
Every
in
day,
October
Oh, wow.
surrounding either bumpers and books, or one that I guess I could talk about, well, I'll talk about them afterwards, but there's a lot of things happening. In fact, there's no meeting rooms being able to be booked for October because they're all booked for the month of October. Yes. Let's see. Okay.
Can I have a motion to accept Jennifer's report?
So
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, we're up to new business. Tell us anything about what's going on at school? Anything library-like or, sometimes, less, the representatives in the past have just post about the activities that are happening, so we have a better sense of what's going on in the local high school.
Student affairs kind of.
Yeah.
Well, at my school, there's not a lot going on in the library, unfortunately, because we don't really have a library.
Oh, you don't have a line?
So I'm trying to get changed, but like unfortunately, I'm not on student council, so it's a little hard. But yeah, we have like this room upstairs that has a few shelves with books. That's the library.
Ooh.
It's very sad. But I am going to try to promote the library, obviously. And I wanted to try and do some kind of writing help program, like I mentioned in my interview for this. So we're gonna talk about that. But pretty much, yeah, we don't do a lot of library stuff in my school.
No pressure today, but you could also share things like.
Yeah,
this we've heard about robotics or sports teams are starting or prom,
Spirit,
like just to have a sense of the things that are happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
What did you say? I'm sorry. I
Our
didn't-
school now has a sailing team. an
Excellent.
official one. So that's our only sport. Which is cool.
Now, you can do sports that fit. I mean, I know.
Yeah, you can do
with
sports
robotics.
from your sending schools.
Okay.
I think there's a few schools that don't allow you to, but most of the schools you could go back to your sending school and do a sport there. So
That's good.
that's, yeah,
What's your school?
marine science, night high school.
We just have to promo that this is your library.
Yeah.
And all the students have to come here.
Yeah.
That's it. I will.
Sending school would be your school that you're geographically attached to.
Yes,
With
yeah.
Groton, Stonington, et cetera.
Yeah.
Kind of shocking with the library. It's the,
I know.
yeah, the school's been number 1 or 2 in the
It-
state
we got,
every
like,
year,
the-
you know.
Ribbon or
Yeah.
award or whatever.
Yeah.
And yet we don't have a library.
Gee, we never, I don't think we ever knew that.
Do the students talk about the fact that it's kind of funny we don't have a library, or is it just so natural to them now they don't know?
it kind of is like just natural now. Like when I first came in, everyone was like, "There's no library. This is crazy," you know. But like at this point, we're just like, "No library," like you know. So right, yeah, it's kind of weird.
Is there space for a library?
That's the thing. Our school is very small. Although I just don't understand why we don't like. We have like an extra room that we created this year,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I don't know why we don't just turn that into a library because like we have enough classrooms, like you know. And then they changed the study hall room into the library, so now it's also the study hall room.
Interesting.
So I don't know. It's very odd.
Is our catalog here do you have, oh, you don't have a catalog, library catalog? Because at Fitch, you can get into this catalog from school. But you can't do that at Marine Magnet. You have no catalog.
There's a steady flow of books from here to Fitch, right? And back. What about,
We've reached out before, we have not been successful,
interesting.
but that doesn't mean that we couldn't
Yeah, we did.
look into it.
I was gonna say.
Because we also had conversations, Rosso, and have not really.
Do they don't have a library
So in
either?
relationship, we know some people there, but, yeah, we might have. to look into
You can try to create.
Do you have, do your teachers have, like, I know in some of the elementary school my kids have gone to, they almost have their own little library in their own classroom.
So yes,
Do
so
your teachers have?
I have one teacher who, like, she's my English teacher this year, and I love going into her room. It is like the prettiest room. She has like art all over the walls, and she's like this entire wall full of books. And like, so like she has that. There's another English teacher who also has that. But like the weird thing is we have a lot of rooms. We don't have enough rooms for every teacher to have their own room.
Sure.
So
Oh.
like during my freshman year, my English class was in the horticulture room. So there were no books. There's just plants, like, you know.
You have nature. Big words.
Yeah. So that's why like sometimes they can't fully have their own stuff, but I find that when they can, they do.
You can borrow those.
Yeah, like my teacher, she just let me a book because we were talking about books the other day, just randomly, and she's like, I read this good book. And so she just brought it for me, and then like I'm gonna start reading it today. So
You know what you want.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like personal library.
yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Okay.
whenever they have classrooms, it's probably pretty heavy on research as opposed to
Yeah,
fiction or anything like that.
yeah.
Such
That's
fond
so
memories of study hall
interesting.
reading Stephen King.
If it was on the shelf,
Yeah.
if you could get it. Those like to walk the most. We have a little crew of Stephen King books seated in the back because they always usually one goes walking and we have to replace it, and some of these are out of print now. So
Oh.
we try to put it back on the shelf. So we love going through the bookstore over here.
Yeah.
If there's any Stephen King.
Wow.
It's still popular.
Does Grasso have a library?
They do, and they have a library.
Yeah.
He comes in here regularly.
What's his name? Oh, never mind. Never mind. It's not,
I haven't so much in my time.
not,
He's actually done a program here.
wow. It's gonna keep us all up at night now.
Now we have to bring books so you can take them with you.
Yeah.
I'm taking them to school.
Any more questions for Paige? So that brings us to the GPL policies, which I hope you all received over the weekend by email. Many pages. I mean, that's just a fraction of the policy manual, but this is a fraction that the state of Connecticut has a new law which pertains to. And as you may recall from July, it was our job over the summer to try to bring these policies into complete alignment with the state of Connecticut law. They had checklists of exactly what needed to be in there. And the product of that by a very hardworking committee. Thank you, Barb, Hallie, Jennifer.
No,
It's a lot
thank
of
you,
work.
Catherine.
This is a lot of work. Oh, my God.
I should have.
And part of the problem is that there is actually language that it has to be in here verbatim. You cannot wordsmith it.
Doesn't matter if it's.
Doesn't matter if it's grammatically incorrect. if
Oh.
comma's in the wrong place, it has to go in.
Frankly, some of it,
Oh, God, it was.
some of it ended up a little confusing and there was nothing we could do about it.
Yeah.
because it is handwritten. So if you had a chance to take a look, we can talk about anything that you found interesting or wanted to discuss. As I mentioned in my email, we can't really change the word, a lot of the words, right? A great deal, but obviously they didn't send this whole thing. It was our original policy to begin with. We will be voting on this today, hopefully to have this provisional one approved by this board so that it can be submitted as a draft to this Connecticut State Library, I believe.
Correct.
Before October 1st, like really soon after this meeting. They will get back to us by November 1st with whether it passed muster. And then we need to approve it fully at our November meeting with whatever changes we could legally do at that point if you have questions there. So today is kind of a provisional vote, but we felt it was important to send it by all of you before we sent the draft.
And in keeping it down to like 20 pages instead of 8,000, I cut out a lot of white. So the formatting, ignore the formatting. We will absolutely, I will fix that. This is just to keep the paper at a minimum.
So I realize that's kind of a hard pull for you guys, since unless you've compared it to the original one on the web, you wouldn't know exactly what changed, but if you did delve through it, is anything you'd like to discuss? Much of it was,
Please save this up.
I'm sorry.
I should leave paid for this up.
I do have to say our editors come through this at least.
Yeah,
I mean, we had 5 meetings.
yeah.
It was
Wait,
everything.
tell.
So they, yeah, it's a nitty gritty.
I had a
Nitty gritty of things.
I had a question. So I was interested because we had the book issue last year, so that, brought it to, but I wasn't aware that the same process was for displays and things as
Yeah.
well. So I
Yeah.
was just curious, and you did it, it's very clear what the process is, but have you in the past had many?
That
Okay.
has arisen from a situation that happened at 2 different libraries in Connecticut.
Oh, I see.
Connecticut specifically. They're a person, a town manager, as well as some other high-ranking official, walked through the library and didn't like what was on display, didn't feel it was appropriate, so we took it off.
Mm,
Can't have this on
mm.
without consulting the library director or,
Oh.
like having a conversation and then talking to
see.
the board. So that through everything out of source.
Interesting. So that is
That's
new
what-
then.
Yes, so they strongly suggested,
Yeah.
encouraged us to come up with a plan, to implement that. And now that was strongly encouraged us last year. Now it's like, you have to
Yeah,
have it.
to get it passed.
mandated.
you have to-
Yeah, it's mandated
Yeah.
in order to get, that there's state aid, that was released to us last year because we complied with the policy that they suggested. And now in order to get that, it's mandatory language. So. Yeah.
I mean, it's good in a way because now all of the Connecticut libraries will be on the same page. You know, the procedures will be the same, the expectations are the same, the strictures are pretty much the same.
And the thing is some libraries can opt out, if they don't want the, state aid,
Mhm,
they can opt out of doing it.
mhm.
But it's strongly encouraged you to, because it's not just about the money, it's about, the legislature understanding that this needs to be protected. Libraries are important as democracy institutions, and we should, yes. The other thing is this really reflects the state aid is only, distributed to principal public libraries. So Bill and Mystic don't necessarily have anything with this, and they wouldn't be offered the state aid because they're not the principal public libraries in Groton.
Though historically Groton has shared that, haven't they?
Not to my knowledge. In fact, it wasn't even, it went, the state aid was available prior to Dan Malloy's governorship. So it's been a very long time that it has not been deployed. And since last year, it just reappeared. It's pretty nominal. And frankly, to be fair, for next year, we're going to use it for our programming for the 250. And share alike, is what we have for the funds too.
There was some.
So it is reciprocal in some.
Years ago, Alan Banker used to share. He says, the principal, but Mystic and Bill were
Mhm.
just as important, so.
Yeah, of course.
he used to divide they'd get the main share, and then Mystic and Bill would get some of
Like
it.
share.
And I thought it was the state aid, but I could be wrong. But
It
he's-
might be, but like I said, it just
It no
came
longer
back.
does, yeah.
And again, we in essence are going to be sharing it because we're gonna be co-partnering, I mean,
200.
Right.
tri-partnering.
Yes.
So, I don't want them to have to say no to programs. We have many.
Mhm.
Community.
Are there other questions or comments? May I have a motion to provisionally approve this draft to go to Connecticut State Library before October 1st?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Someone who's not on the committee.
Yeah. All in favor of submitting this as presented to you over the weekend, please say aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? That passes unanimously. Thank you. Well, I mean, Jennifer's been pretty definite that she didn't want to wait till the end of September to see.
Mhm.
They,
Yeah, in
they
fact,
begged us to, they begged.
I get an
everyone to
email every
send
week.
it sooner.
By the way, deadline's looming.
Right.
So-
The old business is all yours.
So, old business, of course, is somehow deleted. So, just update on 250th related activities. We have confirmed for Groton Public Library, the US Navy 250th is in October. Actually, the birthday itself, I believe, is October 13th. It's Columbus Indigenous Peoples' Day, so we will be closed, and we will be closed on the Sunday prior. So I reached out to the Connecticut River Museum in Essex, and they put me in touch with this wonderful person who was part of he did part of the creation of the turtle, representation at the Connecticut River Museum. He has a background at the Navy Sound Labs and has been, he wrote the book, The Turtle, and it's in our collection. So he's going to be doing a lecture on the turtle. I asked him if he would do this because if you do or do not know, the turtle was the first submarine created by a Connecticut person, David Bushnell out of Old Saybrook, and he went to Yale. So it kind of full circle. He's a Connecticut inventor. And I thought it might be nice because it also reflects the first submarine in the Revolutionary War. So he will be here on Sunday, October 5th at 2 p.m. And I also wanted to highlight because the Submarine Force Museum is doing a family fun day celebrating the US Navy on October 11th, which is Saturday from 10 to 2. They're going to have games and crafts. Many nonprofit organizations are going to be represented. We're going to be there as well. I have to just talk to Bill and Mystic and see if they're interested in participating. Yeah, so that's what's coming up. We also have, some programs are in the mix. We're just finalizing some plans. Exhibits are going to be running. I think the main thing that we're kind of talking about, is twofold. One, we've talked about the parade next year. Parks and Rec people came aboard, get some feedback, and there may be potential to form a subcommittee for that. Discuss, who could possibly be a grand marshal. Marilyn brought up at the bicentennial, there was major floats. We asked if that would be a possibility. They didn't say no. So I think we're moving along on that conversation. And then the other thing is we've kind of debated just recently or talked about having like a family type fun day or some family related activities at the Jabez Smith House. The Daughters of the American Revolution is very excited to participate. Very excited. We're gonna dress up, some of them, and costume.
Make the cookies.
Yeah, make our cookies. And then the Sons of American Revolution, we have a representative, locally that, he's very interested. He said he could probably get a couple people to come dressed as well. We were trying to determine on a different day to have that. We acknowledge summer is probably a good time just because kids will be out of school, or at least May, June, July, something, in that area. And Barb had a great idea about possibly having, for museums, there's like an open house day in June, every year. And, because my fear is that if we put it as a 10 to 2, people are gonna stay all day, and that's not really, we want them to, because it's a smaller venue. So we want to pop in, check out the house, museum, farm, stead, and also maybe do a couple activities and then go. So it might be a great opportunity to use that day because they're gonna be going to different places.
That's a good idea.
So I thought that was a really good idea.
Thames River Heritage Park met this afternoon, the program committee, and they're planning to make Connecticut Open House Day a kind of park-wide event and ask each site to do something, unique or different on that day. It'll probably be, it's usually the second Saturday in June. I don't know what the date is. And the other thing they're asking all of their partners to do is start discussions about what's going on in their town on the 4th of July. Is their site going to be open on the 4th of July?
Yes.
And if so, what would they be doing? And so the idea is to create more of a kind of a regional celebration. So maybe people, since everybody from Groton is going to be in the parade, maybe people from outside will come and watch it.
Right,
And then
right.
if like East Lyme has a picnic or a concert later in the day, maybe people can
Go there.
or
Makes
London
sense.
has something. So trying to kind of pool a calendar so people looking to celebrate the 4th can know where things are. And every
It's a
time.
good idea. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Sorry.
Bye. So that's so cool. And the last but not least is, as we've become an affiliate with the Connecticut 250th Committee, I have a meeting, that we've been approved. I go to the monthly meetings, and they've already started discussing federal government, what is being planned, how states can be involved. And then they're also feeding us information about youth, like how to get into the schools and distribute, like why it's important, or having programming specifically for not just students, but youth, and how we can, how they can disseminate that information to us or directly to the schools. It's always tough when you're kind of putting it in the beginning of the year because, they've got things that they have to meet education wise. So we're going to see how we can ensure that not only all backgrounds are representative, but also all ages, just making it accessible and available as well. So we will be looking at that as well to see what kind of programs for youth we can develop. Yeah. Thank you. It's been fun. I got good people on it. Good people on these committees here. Pushing the envelope. Good.
Any more discussion on that or anything else you wanted to bring up and touch upon library business? Hearing none, may I have a motion to adjourn? That will be adjourning at 4:50. Thank you, Barb.
Thank you.